As we begin our shows now, we want to start with a ritual. So we're going to move into Skeptic Sunday School. So ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, bow your heads and let us think. Today, we're going to be talking about creationism and some about Genesis, being the Jewish and Christian thought on how their opinions on how the earth got here. And, what... Just to put some things in perspective, the Earth has to be 6,000 years old in order, or we'll give them this, right? Six to 12, right? 6 to 12,000.
Yeah,
we can afford to give them an extra 6 years, whatever.
you're talking about the actual, billions. I guess 6 to 12.
Yeah,
Years.
exactly. So in actuality, the Earth is around 14.5 billion years old, but we'll give them 6 to 12,000. So, assuming it's 6 to 12,000 years old, now God created the heavens and earth and on the first day, and then said, "Let there be light," and then there was light. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it was day 4 that he said he was going to put a vault in the sky to separate day from night, and that's the sun. Correct?
That is correct, but the Christians will tell you it's a biblical day. So even though that you shouldn't have any days without the sun, that's pretty much how we get our days. God can do it because He's God.
Well, of course he can, but I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, it's not just science that says that time is relative. We view our days in a 24-hour period, but days are a completely relative idea. Days, weeks, months, years, millennia, whatever. We invented that, and even there's even a religion that that takes that into account. The Egyptian mythology. I believe it was Horus, who was the god of light, would fight Set every day. And Set would win the battles at night and lose the battles in the morning. They would fight twice a day. And this was the mythology that they have. And if you don't believe me, look it up. And this is why we call things sunsets. This is where it comes from. The sun god, the god of light, Horus, who, by the way, existed 3,500 years before Jesus did, who also had 12 disciples, was born of a virgin birth, died and resurrected, had 12 followers, was betrayed anyway, exact same thing on paper. You can't tell the difference between Horus and Jesus, and he existed 3,500 years before Jesus did. But anyway, that was one of the stories that they kind of take into account, that days are a relative deal, and this is what happens. Horus fights Set, whatever. But one thing that we do need to point out here is,
that is a lot. That is a lot cooler than Jesus just saying. Than God.
They're not turning the other cheek, man. They had war gods and shit. Yeah, they were much more entertaining.
Those explanations, or at least you can wrap your head around them. Like, okay, obviously
I see where you went there.
Scientific value, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I see how you guys thought that, because they were great astronomers, once again, I haven't. God, we haven't talked about this since, I don't know, like maybe the first 5 episodes, but Jesus is the Son, and the entire Christianity, Catholicism, Greek and Egyptian mythology, all that stuff, it's all part of the Zodiac. Every bit of it. All of it is part of the Zodiac. But we'll save that for a different Sunday school. That'd be a good overall topic to bring up. But anyway, one thing that we need to accept with Genesis is that at one point it was the Flintstones. We would have had to have been on this earth with dinosaurs, which most people should know that's not true. We never walked the earth with dinosaurs. Right?
Well, yeah, we're millions of years separation. But we talked about it before. Some people will say that dinosaurs were just, their fossils were just put there by God to test people's faith.
Right. Because he's a thinker. He came up with everything. He made it absolutely impossible for people to believe in him, and yet hell is the only justice people like you and I will see, because we looked at it and said, no, that ain't right.
So far for Sunday school, we've covered 3 of the 4 main concepts of Genesis.
Right.
We got Noah's Ark, we got Adam and Eve, and the creation story.
Well, and Sodom and Gomorrah, yeah.
Sodom and Gomorrah, yeah, that one's a little different. But so far, I think basically we're getting.
Oh, you mean so far
book of
today?
Genesis.
Gotcha.
Yeah. We're hitting that one.
Well, something that we should bring up while we're on Genesis is the hatred for women, that came out of the story of Adam and Eve, right? I mean, the women out there, those of you who know people, or maybe you still believe in Jesus and God and all that, and that's fine. Everybody's got their own journey, but just understand, the reason why you will never be Pope, if you're Catholic or whatever. The reason why you guys are treated so badly is because you guys are blamed for evil. Evil. You guys are blamed for evil, and painful childbirth is the punishment that God put on you because you are so evil. And not only were you evil, you tempted man into being evil. Now, let's focus on that here for a quick second. Adam was not evil. Adam was just tempted by the evil witch that is Woman. I mean, he gave up his rib for her, and this is how she repays him. It's completely ridiculous. Fucking women.
Yeah, story of my life. It's always a woman's fault.
Anyway, so I mean that's something to take away from Genesis as well, is a lot of hatred towards women. It is just embedded in modern day religions.
Yeah, I mean, basically, second-class citizens, and while some religions are just now allowing them to be part of the clergy, most religions wouldn't even think about that.
No.
So, yeah.
You're still property.
And that's 50% of our population. Actually,
unfortunately.
55% or something.
Yes, and driving will ruin your uterus. So, according to the very scientific explanations from people in the Middle East.
Yes.
Anyway, so that concludes Skeptic Sunday School.